Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson, 5 things we learned. We'll do it live and it'll be a little bit of a review as well as 5 things. We had a game that kicked off at half-1 yesterday. So for the first half, we were doing our warm-up, and then for the whole of the game, obviously, we had our own match. So I couldn't see the game live, and I don't talk about games I ain't seen. So I have now seen the game, and now we can talk about it, if that's all right with everyone. So I got loads of messages from people last night saying, like, are we getting a review? And no, you weren't getting a review, but now I have had a chance to see the game, so I can actually talk to you about the game, and we can go back and forward on it. It still doesn't fill you with confidence, does it? Yeah, we got the win, but Christ on a bike, did we struggle for that one? Not filled with confidence ahead of the midweek game with Copenhagen, and when you start to look at the fixtures, you go, can we just start having some performances, some good performances? Because that's where, I think that's where it'll start to turn for United, is when we start actually putting in some genuinely good performances. But let's talk about yesterday's game and the actual game itself, rather than what's coming up in the future. So, in at number 1, VAR is shite, and this goes with what's going on in the Arsenal-Newcastle game last night. I'm going to be honest, I chuckled. The energy in our WhatsApp group last night was mad, and there was a chance that we were going to, me, Rio, Ash, and Joel was going to end up going live, because the energy in the WhatsApp group after watching that game yesterday would have been an absolutely sensational little podcast with the 4 of us. One sec, I just need to reply to my producer, Deck. He's asked me if he should push this live again. My internet was struggling to let me go live, but so I was telling him I have to just update him. Anyway, so I'm glad Newcastle won, because I fucking hate Arsenal, but what a piss take. It seemed to me like they went through every possibility to cancel that goal that they could find before going, yeah, all right, I guess it's got to go as a goal. Now, I think the ball didn't go out, and I know everyone's seen the angle where it looks like it's out. The same with Marcus's. I don't think that ball went out either. And I don't think they used a bang on the line angle for it. And these things are so important. These things are so important. We have accurate goal line technology. We have these super hyper accurate offsides. The offside, the offside. To say Maguire was interfering with the play for McTominay's goal, I think he's wrong. And to say the on-field decision was a clear and obvious error was wrong as well. This is the thing. Offside is not subjective and can't be clear and obviously wrong, because it's onside or offside. But this is the nature of trying to include such like precision in something that you can't be that precise about. And that's why, I've come up with this line, fat lines for everyone. I think it should be big fat lines of margins for error. Realistically, did Harry Maguire have an unfair advantage, even if you considered him to be live and in play? Did he have an unfair advantage, or was he fucking level? He was level, wasn't he? The guy's about as quick as a cart horse, so why do we think that this was any sort of unfair advantage as the ball's played in? Start looking at the spirit of the rules. The people that are applying these rules are the absolute fucking Poindexters with no mates, right? Because the spirit of the rule is what's important. These absolute fucking traffic wardens are killing the game. You shouldn't have to look for reasons to cancel a goal. You should just be like, the clear and obvious error, right? That should mean that they get a glance at it. Because if it's clear and obvious, a la the Drogba offside in 2010, you glance at it and go, fucking hell, yeah, he's offside. You don't have to get a protractor out and start zooming in on pixels of people's ball bag. That's absolutely ludicrous. If you glance at it and go, well, then let it play. Stop fucking about. And the same with that Newcastle goal last night. You can look at it and go, is it a foul? If you can't answer that in 1 second by going, yeah, he's tried to murder him. If you have to go, well, is it? No, it's not a foul. It's not a clear and obvious problem in awarding that goal. So let the fucking goal go, because all this 5-minute waiting and then allowing goals or chalking goals off after people have had a fucking madness, you are going to kill the sport of football, because people aren't going to watch this utter tripe. Ultimately, football is about people making mistakes, right? Because if nobody made any mistakes, every game would be 0-0, and that's fucking boring, right? Ultimately, it's about people making mistakes. That's what makes us fall in love with football. That and someone doing something outrageous, right? The mistakes is what makes it charming. We don't want accuracy. We want fairness. That's what we want. We don't want accuracy. We want fairness. But anyway, City's Ake goal, worse circumstances than the Maguire one, still allowed. It's already beyond the point where it's cost Manchester United vital points this season, and it has to change. And I don't know if it will change or not, but it's one of those. And yeah, how's someone pulling back the penalty for Manchester City, because that was a clear and obvious, and fucking Bruno Gomes is out here fucking giving people a people's elbow? How's that happen? Like, how is no one picking that up and going, well, let's pull this one back here. So VAR is for red cards, for penalties and for goals, right? Well, it was a red card offence. You can't elbow people. Serious foul play. Kid idiot. Dave Bell says we won't get an apology either. You're absolutely fine. Yep, you're absolutely right on that one. Abhinav says, think it's pathetic that the bird's eye technology that was used in the World Cup to allow Japan's goal wasn't used in the so-called richest league in the world. Correct. Excellent point. Well made. Yeah, get your questions in. I will come to those as soon as I get a chance. Number 2, Bruno to the rescue. In what's been a pretty rough week for him, actually. Getting slagged off by Roy Keane saying that he's not a good captain. That can't be nice for you to hear. The quintessential captain of Manchester United is going, yeah, you're a fucking shit captain. Like, it's one of them, innit? His impact is undeniable. And he's done it again with another massive goal for United. He is one of the most disrespected players that I've ever seen in the Premier League. If he played for someone else, people would be wanking themselves silly about him. But from his first season to where we are now, he just gets treated differently, and I'm not 100% sure why. It was a really well taken goal last night, in proper scrappy circumstances. You can question whether you like that petulant angle, and personally, no, I don't. But I can't deny the impact that he has in terms of scoring goals. And he's rescued the club yet again. Now, I might touch... yeah, do you know what? I think it's worth talking about now. So, Anthony's expected assist yesterday was 0.01. Garnacho's was 0.1. And I think Højlund's was 0.03. We're not creating enough chances. Højlund had no shots. Not any shots on target, not any wide. He had no shots. How is your centre-forward having no shots? It's not right. It's not right at all. You've got to provide for your centre-forwards. Otherwise, your team is dysfunctional. Now, this United team has struggled for results because we are not currently capable of, admittedly we got one yesterday, but we're not currently capable of getting a clean sheet. That puts added pressure on the forwards. But the forwards are putting added pressure on the defence by going, yeah, we might shit the bed, we might not. You can't rely on this United team to get you 2 goals in any game. And I think I saw a stat saying that United have, when we've won, it's been by singular goals this season, which meant we've been living on the edge the entire season. From a mental point of view, that's fucking hard work. Nikolai with a super chat there says, the lack of service for Højlund is infuriating. The last time Ten Hag gives players... is it time that Ten Hag gives players a bollocking akin to what Fergie did with RVP? Maybe. The Life of Riley says it's mad that they haven't got cameras that cover all angles. I mean, even look at the offside between Arsenal and United earlier in the season with Garnacho, Why is there not a side angle for that? How is there not a side angle for that? Where is that 3D technology that we were seeing like during the World Cup, and I think we might have seen in either in the Nationals or in the Champions League as well? Like, where is that technology? Why don't we have that? Not said, imagine we did sign Kane. I doubt he'd have multiple hat-tricks by now. Yeah. David Ellensworth says, Sam Peoples brought up a stat this morning. United are bottom of the league for decisions for and against. From VAR, we are -4. Liverpool are +2. Sorry, City are +2. Liverpool are -1. Yeah. It feels like that too. It absolutely feels like that too. And that depending on... That's probably also not giving us a penalty for the Wolves one, but taking one off us for Onana, which probably should have been a foul. Like, sometimes it's not even what VAR looks at, it's what VAR doesn't look at. And you're like, why? Like the Højlund one against City, why isn't that being looked at, but the other one is? That's the shit that infuriates you with VAR. How are you making arbitrary decisions on what goes there and what doesn't go there? It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Dave says we won't pay to fix the roof, never mind special cameras. It's all in the package. I mean, Kenilworth Road gets the same as fucking Spurs' new gaff, so it's it's the same thing. Anyway, 3. We did touch on this a second ago. Defensive improvement. So the one thing we have to see going forward is a major improvement in defence, because we don't keep clean sheets. City and Newcastle embarrassed us, and they are good sides, even if it was Newcastle's B team. But anything remotely similar to Fulham was going to spin this season into an absolute spiral. And by that I mean, if we'd have lost 2 or 3-0 to Fulham yesterday, oh my God, would it have got toxic. And to be honest, it ain't exactly not toxic now. It's kind of like, right, yeah, that's what we fucking expected to beat Fulham. Fuck's sake, you're not getting a cookie for that. Whatever the reasons are, Varane's been sat out. Has he fell out with the manager? Do you believe Rashford is injured? Ten Hag, if he's stamping his authority all over this team, he's going to need to see it pay off, because I don't disagree with what he's doing, but I feel for him that if he doesn't turn it around and he's ostracising these players, it will be the end for him. And that's on the players. But the players don't get sacked, managers get sacked. Maguire looks solid again. I think when the ball's in the air a lot, he does definitely benefit from that sort of game. I think when people are running at him, because he did get dribbled past, I think when people are running at him and dragging him wide into the channel a little bit, that's when he gets caught out. But if you put a ball right down the pipe, he wins that. There's not a drama. Wan-Bissaka looks solid as well. I think we've shown that we've lacked him a little bit. Maybe that gives us a little bit more confidence in defence again. But we need Luke Shaw and Martinez and probably Varane back, realistically. Daniel Leeper says he's falling out with more players than we're scoring goals. I hate how true that is. Anyway, before we get into the next one, listen. Copenhagen, win, lose, draw. Let me know in the comments. Just hit me. Hit me. Tell me exactly where it is. Yeah. Are we on the exact same points that we were this time last year? Doesn't feel like it at all, does it? Number 4. Last minute again. So, had the first goal counted, it could have been a 2-0 game. Obviously, the game doesn't go like that. It could have ended up 4-1. It could have ended up 2-2. Like, you score early in the game, it changes the dynamic of the game. That's how it works. But ultimately, it was a 1-0 game. And I think, even though I wasn't overly impressed with the performance, I think it's another bit of confidence boosting. And we really need that at the moment. And I wouldn't underestimate how important that is. It could be key for us, that. Obviously, there's some sympathy with the first goal being disallowed, but you can't dwell on that too long. I think we let our heads drop after that first goal didn't go in. And I think that's the issue with this team at the moment. I think that's why it's important to see them build confidence, because with confidence comes resiliency. When you see this United team concede, they don't have the confidence that they'll score enough to be able to go and beat a team. Like, we was in the fight against City at 0-0, and then as soon as they scored, well, it was over. Like, we needed to score first and then hope. And it doesn't matter if it's City, whether it's Newcastle, whoever it is at the moment, when Manchester United concede, they don't look confident that they're going to go on and win a game. And keeping a clean sheet like that yesterday, getting a last-minute winner like that, building on the heroics of last week with Onana, these things matter. These things really do start to matter, and they build up and they start to count deeper as the season progresses. Number 5, the negativity fought off for now, but it is one result away at the moment. United need to go on and put a string of 5 or 6 wins, really. And that's going to be bloody hard to do, if not impossible with the current situation that we're in. But it's going to be hard to do. But they need to do that. The banner in the away end said everything. Play like you mean it. And that's a start for United at the moment. That win quiets the negativity for another day. But if Wednesday is a defeat, that essentially eliminates us from the Champions League, and the negativity will be back in buckets. People are questioning Ten Hag, and we find ourselves in this weird similar cycle where nothing improves because no one's got the fucking patience, the gumption, or the plan to actually improve us. You need characters in the dressing room that are going to step up, and maybe that's what Bruno did a little bit of yesterday. He needs to get some of the other people in there that maybe haven't quite dug it out just yet. There's some pretty big characters in there now. Varane, Casemiro, Onana, even the likes of Johnny Evans and Bruno. It's time to turn to these lot, unite, and start going on a run. I've seen this team do it. I know they're capable of doing it. I just don't have the confidence in them to do it at the moment. Notch says those 5 or 6 wins need to be accompanied by performances to a point. Yeah, they do. Chris says, I think you've hit the nail on the head about the Liverpool game. If we lose to Galatasaray, Newcastle, Chelsea, Bayern and Liverpool in December, Ten Hag is gone after that. Yeah, I didn't just pick that game arbitrarily. I looked at that run thinking, that might be a wee sticky patch. And Liverpool, as they've got a habit of, could be a shagging unless we get people back. Brian says Palestri has to start against Copenhagen. Joe, what? Yes, sorry, on me. That's on me, that. I should have talked about Palestri. Yeah, he was bright. He was direct, and he's enthusiastic. And there's a little bit of that in Garnacho as well. And they're very, very direct. And unfortunately, I don't think either of them are creating enough for Højlund just yet. But I think for most of us, they would be favourable. Now, Ten Hag has clearly got a blind spot with Anthony. And I hope that's not his unravelling, because I think everyone would be buoyed up by seeing Palestri get a start. Yeah. MX says, why didn't Mainu get minutes at Fulham? Don't know.
It's about 2:23 and 45 seconds PM.
The Amazon AI thing has just decided to tell me what time it is. Cheers. AJ Wright says that's a bloody hard December. Well, it's the back end of November, but yeah. Sean says Garnacho deserves to start again. I don't know if you can throw too many in at once, but I think if Mainu is fit, I would trust him. I'll go with him and Amrabat. I mean, like, let me pull up Scott's stats from yesterday, because even though, like, I think it was a solid game from him, United aren't having anywhere near enough of the ball when he features, because he just isn't capable of holding onto the ball in the slightest. And I think that's what something needs to be fixed. So yesterday, McTominay, 29 out of 38 passes, not enough. You've got to be better than that in the centre of the park. Which Pro Evo was my favourite? I think off the top of my head, 5. I think 5. Acorn Electrical says we've only qualified for the Champions League every other season in the last 10 seasons. How much improvement before we can be there every year? Sometimes it's not about us. and it's about what everything else is around us. I think we got to keep stepping it up and going forward, because I think Arsenal and City are shoo-ins for the top 4. I don't think they'll come out of it. I like what Jay said the other day when he said Spurs are having their Ollie moment. Ollie had the run that Spurs are having at the moment. Didn't ultimately lead to anything. If he can continue that for an entire year, they're in the top 4. Simple as that. Liverpool could be back. Newcastle are in the mix. And then there's ourselves. And 6 out of 4 don't go. So something has to give. Dave Bell says OG International Superstar Soccer on PS1. Jed, do you know what the problem with that was? Whenever you played ISS or ISS Pro, which was the original Pro Evo, what a long-winded fucking name. International Superstar Soccer Pro Evolution, which is why it became Pro Evo. But yeah, ISS Pro, as the boys would say. It felt lighter. The players felt lighter than playing FIFA back in the day. And how long is it going to take before people start calling FIFA FC? Will it happen? It probably will happen, right? Sensible Soccer was the one. Sensible Soccer didn't have realistic physics, but yeah, it was a game. Yeah, go on, comment your favourite football game. Is it a Champ Manager? Is it a Football Manager? Is it FIFA, Pro Evo, Sensible Soccer? And there might be a couple of other people in the chat are old enough to remember Emlyn Hughes Soccer, right? I had a fucking game. Do you know what? Can I pull up on the screen? Let me see if I can find it. I had a game for a Commodore in 1992. I think it was a Commodore 64 game, right? As far as I'm aware, the only video game that featured Les Sealey on the cover. And it was so bad it was mint. And why so bad it was mint. And it was on a tape. Let me see if I can pull these up onto the screen. This may or may not work. I've never tried to do this live. But there's one. Oh, there it is. Yep. So that was the cover. Chrysalis, yeah. This says Amiga. Maybe it was Amiga then. I thought it was Commodore 64. And let me just get the other one up. There's one here that shows a screenshot of the game. Oh, it's so fucking bad, honestly. One second. I'm trying to download this. So that was the game. Manchester United in Europe. This is on the back of winning the Cup Winners' Cup. This is why it's the greatest of all association football achievements. Is the back cover. It's got a bit more about the game on it and stuff there. Can you see how shit some of that is? But look at the graphics. Look at them. Like this one here, that one that's like black and silver in the middle. That's like the old, pattern that was on the blue 91, 92 shirt. How cool is that? Come on. There we go. Let's see it. Cup Winners, 1991. Boom. £25. Oh, it was. Commodore 64. It was on there. Maybe, I think I had it on Commodore 64. Anyway, what a game. What a game. How many of you actually even know about that game? Bet there's not many of you, you know. Glenn says I had that game. Nintendo World Cup on the NES. Do I remember Free Kick Festival and a D500? No. Acorn says Commodore 64 had a cartridge game plugged into the back called International Soccer. Don't remember that one. Connor says FIFA 09 on the DS. Jesus. Dal says I played one on Amiga myself. Emlyn Hughes Soccer. So, yeah. I mean, how many people even know who Emlyn Hughes is now? Gurpeat says, I only played Subbuteo alone. Nikki says, Championship Manager 4 won everything with United. Championship Manager 2 was the GOAT of the Championship Manager series. Championship Manager 4, was that the one with the blue? Number 4 on it. I feel like it was. That was a good game, actually. Was that about 2000, 99, 2000, something like that? What's a Corridor 64? Commodore. 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 Notch says, I had a handheld Kevin Keegan soccer game in the 80s. Bleep bleep frenzy. This is Football 2005. Don't remember that. Sensible World of Soccer on Commodore 64. Yeah, I had that one. Tim says, Commodore 64, you were posh. I had a 16 plus 4, no footy for me. I think I had something else before the 64. So I had a Commodore 64, but something else. I can't remember what it was then. And then an Amiga, I think it was a 500. My mate Prinny had the big spendy one, which I think was an Amiga 1200. Lee says 25 quid in 91 is 55 quid in today's money. Still worth it. Mate, it's worth it for a game that's got Les Sealy on the front. Should we have a look? Is any on eBay? Oh, there's one on eBay for... Oh, I don't even know what that is. An A3000? It's only there for £12 anyway. But yeah, there's a few. Oh, collectible Commodore 64 game. One there for £3 on eBay. Absolutely sensational techers. I won't have anything to play it on. How frustrating do you reckon it would be now going back and having a look and trying to play a Commodore 64 game in 2023? Premier Manager, says Ronnie Johnson. I'm sure it was Premier Manager. There was that one where you had to like upgrade your seats and shit. I remember this about 94, 95 sort of times. Somewhere like that. Brian says International Superstar Soccer 2 on a GameCube was mega. I never had a GameCube. Jigger Stoll says football is about emotion and passion, and VAR is killing it. Correct. I think we'd all go back to like just referees doing it rather than this fucking hyper accurate but do me fucking nutting sort of games, man. Red Devil says, I tried it. Most games look awful. Back then it was cutting edge. Acorn says, Daily Thompson Decathlon. I think I had that as well. I think I had that. Scotty and Marty in the comments. Is it Scotty or is it Marty? My money's on it being Marty. Atari was my earliest memory of a computer, but it was baseball. Ronnie Johnson said it was on the PC and you could upgrade your stands in the stadium. Yeah, on the PC. I fucked up. I was playing it on my uncle's computer because he had a PC that could actually play games in like 1994. And I accidentally, right? You fuckers nowadays haven't got a fucking clue. If you turned a PC off by accident without doing the full shutdown process, that shit needed a man to come out and fix it like it was a boiler. That cost me a fortune. Rumour says, what was the one with the overhead kick from the halfway line? I don't know that one. Olivia says, sorry for mugging you off about your watch being too big that one time. Okay. Bruno Silva says, I used to play NHL. Yeah, I used to play an NHL game. Oh, what was it on? I feel like it was a PlayStation 2 game. I can't remember it much, though. I used to like playing Madden. I see that they've now got college football, EA Sports college football, like American football. I wouldn't mind trying that, you know. Abel says Arsenal have released a club statement. What's it about? Is it about their coach driver going to the wrong fucking place yesterday? Because that is hilarious. Jeremy says Football Director 2. Wow, never heard of that one. Seb says FIFA Road to the World Cup. Right. Am I correct in thinking FIFA Road to the World Cup 98 had Beckham on the front cover, right? I'm pretty sure that was fucking excellent. That is one of my favourite ones. I actually remember the World Cup 98 one. It had I think it was the first time it had like, What was it? Like, it had like a variety of celebrations for the first time. Acorn says, which joystick did I have? I have no idea. I have no fucking clue, mate, honestly. FIFA Street 2, massively underrated. Yeah, FIFA could have done something with the FIFA Street series. And they could have done something in real life with the marketing as well, because I think the likes of Power League and Fives and all that, there's a real fucking culture in football in those sorts of areas. And I think FIFA Street didn't harness that enough. And I think that's something that they could do. Yeah. Alan Shearer Soccer. What? I've not heard of this. Alan Shearer Soccer. Let me Google this. Nothing's coming up with that. Alan Shearer Soccer game. Oh my God, that looks wank. What is this? I can only, hang on. Let me just throw this up because this is horrendously bad. It's a PlayStation game that is playing on a PC screen. What are you doing, Alan? Let me just crop this in and I'll throw it up. This is so shit looking. One sec, let me pull this up on the screen. Wowzers. Where's it gone? Oh, I see. 2 seconds. Let me pull this Alan Shearer thing up. I just lost the window for this here. Let's throw that on. Look at that. Alan Shearer. Oh, Actua Soccer. Oh, wasn't that not one of the first like 3D something or others? Wow. Where have we ended up going here today? I had no idea we were going to be doing this today. Dark Elysium says, didn't one of the FIFA games have a crowd chant that sounded like "You're a lentil"? What? Mark says FIFA World Cup Italian 90, Sega Mega Drive, bad but good. I feel like that was an arcade game. Stephen Sheet says, do I remember FIFA 2001? The disc had a scratch and sniff thing where you could smell the turf. No, it didn't. No, it fucking didn't. No, it didn't. Imagine. Fuck me. They used blag names when they had no license. Cantona was Cantona. Yeah, Pro Evo. Oh, there was a really good Pro Evo about 2001, 2002 sort of area. And yeah, this is the red brick Trafford and like Veyron and David Buckham and all of them. What? So frustrating. So frustrating. Phil says, people online are arguing about who's hated more, Arsenal or Liverpool. It depends on what, doesn't it? I mean, Arsenal fans are the most frustrating because they're so fucking deluded, and Liverpool fans are probably the most annoying because they're just dicks. Santa Notch says European club soccer developed by a Rotherham fan, so it had his team in it. Love that. Super Copper for the SNES, super rare. I don't remember hearing about that one. Who's my favourite shit United player? Who is my favourite shit United player? It's got to kind of be post. Oh, does it have to be post 2000s? You don't really survive at United if you were shit, do you? So, who is my favourite shit United player? I've never thought about that, and I don't know. Don't know. Wait, regarding the club statement. What's the Arsenal statement? I'm taking it's not about them driving to fucking Bournemouth instead of Brighton. Have they issued a statement about VAR? I'll have a look at that. Bebe. John O'Shea. See, John O'Shea would be unfair, you know. And Lee Sharp would be super unfair. Lee Sharp was a fucking player. Lee Sharp was a fucking player. Alan Smith's not a bad shout. Welbeck. Still fucking ripping it up in the Prem now. Jeremy Day says, champ manager 97-98. Epic Napoli team. That was a good one. That was a good one. Doesn't beat Championship Manager 2, though. Scotty Marty say VAR. All right, I've not seen it. Do I want to see it? Fucking Arteta had his head fall off in fucking true Kevin Keegan style last night, going on about whatever it was. Like, do me a favour. Like the video if you think Arteta is wrong, and dislike it if you think he's right. Yeah, like the video if you disagree with what Arteta's saying, basically. Just fucking like the video. Clayton Blackmore, Poborski, Michael Owen. Quinton Fortune, I will not stand for Quinton Fortune slander. How about that? How about that? We've used our allocated club statements for 2023, so we're saving our VAR statement for New Year's Day. Oh my God. Like, at least we're out of that woods. Because it was genuinely about, it felt like 2 or 3 weeks, didn't it? Where you were like, what time's the statement coming out from United today about whatever the fuck it's going to be? Moleman says Arteta is a ball bag. Yes, he was. He is. And that was a full-on Kevin Keegan love it moment. Disgrace. Shut up, you fucking widge. Scott Speed says Arteta is right. This is a football issue, irrelevant of football bias. Well, play to the fucking whistle, mate. How about that for a football issue? Surely by now you've coached your players into doing that. They also created about half a fucking goal's worth of a chance. So how about putting the ball in the net at the other end? The ball didn't go out. And I think that's been proven now. So whether you think it went out or don't think it went out, the ball didn't go out. And I don't see the same sort of energy from Arteta when he's talking about that fucking tackle from Kai Havertz. So he needs to shut the fuck up. How about that? Tracksuit manager from 82 still had Shilton in goal in his prime. What gaming system was around in 1982? Was that a card game? Rishab says Solskjaer as good, if not better than Arteta. Fact. Well, you tell me why they're different. Solskjaer finished 2nd and 3rd. Arteta's finished 7th, 5th, 8th and 8th, hasn't he? David says, afternoon, Steve, what do I make of the Maguire concussion? I didn't see that, actually. Did Arteta complain VAR kept his player on the pitch? No, he did not. Which would have been nice if he did. But he didn't, did he? It was an early ZX Spectrum in 1982. Wowzers. Notch says, Arteta defended VAR a couple of years ago, but now there's going to be a mistake, but now, yeah, head fell right off. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Cheers for tuning in, as always. Make sure to subscribe, do all the good stuff, hit like on the video, and I will catch you lot in the next one. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I'll be back in the morning in a bizzle. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.